Hello everyone, it's Achusi Kanku from Esports Africa News, and as usual, every day we bring conversations across Africa involving esports athletes, esports team managers, comic cons, animation studios, game developers. But today we've got a talent, a very young talent who's developing and growing professionally in esports. We'll talk to Tony, as we affectionately call him, and he'll tell us a bit more about what he does in the esports space.
Okay, my name is Anthony Fayez. Everyone calls me Tony. I am 21 years old with almost 6 or 7 years of experience in gaming industry. Currently, I work as a social media moderator intern and also tribe coordinator for Egypt at Carry First Company, a company that combines sports with game payments across Africa.
No, that's interesting. No, so what we were talking about before we came out was how young you were, and you were growing from being a gamer and then taking on a professional role in esports and gaming. So tell us how you got into this role. Did you always know you were going to be working in esports?
In early days, I started my journey gaming when I was around 12 or 13 years old. I was playing games like Clash Royale and Brawl Stars, and I was really eager to find a way to make money from gaming. I tried joining tournament to win, but it was really tough early on. So the first thing I got when I was child, I got an idea to sell my account, to get money. In this time I sold for only $5. I just wanted to feel the victory of finally making money from gaming and to prove to my family, it is possible. But the funny part is, after selling it, I reached out to the buyer and asked him to let me play on it again. So afterwards, I kept joining tournament, got really good at Brawl Stars, and won several major local tournaments, staying at a top local player for a while. So later I realized that with a third path, actually working and developing myself in the sports industry since I was young and still a student, finding a job in Egyptian gaming companies was so hard. So I decided to volunteer and to gain experience. I worked a long time as a tournament organizer on platforms like Battle.fi and then GB Arena platform. Then I worked with Clash Company. It is an Italian sports company with a branch in Egypt. I organized many Brawl Stars tournaments for them on my own, sometimes handling around 300 participants in the tournament. I also worked with them to be a leader for Brawl Stars clan.
Blood Strike clans, that's interesting.
I also worked on the ground at the Insomnia Gaming Festivals in 2022. Alongside that, and also while I was in the Clash Company, I shifted towards the e-commerce and game top-up sector. Egypt was going through an economic situation where debit cards were restricted from making international online payments, which made it extremely difficult for Egyptian gamers to top up their accounts. So I saw that the opportunity to help. I started offering a top up and make a Facebook page, and it exploded. I gathered thousands of followers, become well known in the Facebook groups. Then my ultimate goal was to work for a company that combines esports with the game top-ups across Africa, where when Carry First entered the Egyptian market, I kept checking their careers page for almost a year. I initially applied for a full-time community manager role, but was rejected since I was a student. Eventually, the Tribe Campus Leader volunteer role opened up. It was exactly that I needed. I applied, became the first Egyptian to join, and successfully build a huge WhatsApp community for students in my university, hosting monthly tournaments. After just 4 or 5 months, I was promoted to be a tribe coordinator for Egypt.
That's interesting. So in your short life, from a young person to 21 years, that means you've spent a lot of time doing a lot of volunteer work, a lot of community work. But that also means that you were learning a lot from some of these instances, to the point that now that you applied for a real job in esports. You've got loads of experience. You've got local knowledge. You've got contacts everywhere, and that's brilliant. I think many people tend to think that they are prima donnas and they just want to get up and say, I've got the skill, so I'm going to go get this employment. It doesn't really work that way.
First thing, I think you want to volunteer to gain experience. And it's experience not gained from nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because you get experience.
Yeah.
What's your experience then with working with universities today? Because you came straight from uni, so you had contacts in the university, so it was easier for you to connect to the other universities, young people, and and how do you think other people can learn to be able to get university communities working or engaging in esports?
First, I when I make the WhatsApp group for my university. I can't persuade the university administration to accept this initiative and to make the tribe or gaming industry in the university is like the football tournaments the university do or something like that. So I started from inviting my friends and make tournaments in the tribe group. So they already invited their friends. So we grow up. Then when I promote to tribe coordinator, so I am responsible for recruit tribe leaders from another universities. So I reach out to my friends in Facebook groups because I already have contacts from
people, yeah.
Facebook groups as student. So I got around 10 candidates from the universities, different universities. So yeah, I made an interview. So yeah, we now made around 4 offline events, and
That's
also
interesting.
the first event I think we made in YFY. It is when Tribe launched in Egypt. My first priority was building a strong portfolio so that universities and organizations would trust us. Our first major milestone was a YLY event organized by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Key figures, including the minister and the Cairo governor, attending along with over 2,000 students. It was a huge opportunity to prove ourselves, organize a massive offline events, learn from our mistakes, and overcome logistical obstacles. Since we have successfully organized two more offline events, and the university administration have been incredibly impressed from it.
No, it sounds like Egypt is doing well with the Carifest project, and that means Call of Duty is flying really well in Egypt. And I think last year's Carifest African Championship, it was an Egyptian team that won the Carifest Championship, which comes to attest that you've done some great works in Egypt, so much that it's an Egyptian team that has won the Carifest Championship. So what do you think is causing Africa to grow in this kind of mobile tournaments? Is it the legitimate access to the games? Africans can play on a much easier server, or what are some of the things that cause Africans to want to play more mobile games?
We already have talented players in a lot of games like PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty, MLBB. Also, in 2025, an Egyptian team won the Carifest Africa Cup for MLBB teams. I think that was a women's team. Yeah.
All right. Yes. That one. Yeah.
This tournament is organized in Somia event in 2025. I was in it. So we have a talented, and also in a FIFA game. I think our Egyptian also player won a World Cup in FIFA tournament. So
that's
in
interesting.
Africa, in Africa we have talented players in across of all games, mobile games, PC games, PS games, all games. So, and also in Egypt we we have a lot of events. Like in some event, we have around 3 other big events happened in Egypt in the last couple of years, and I expect in the next years we will have a lot of events, so we can push and support the pro players. And also in Tribe, we push and support the normal players to be pro players, because in Tribe, you have a chance to play and win, because all the tournament students play them, not pro players, so they all have opportunity to play in tournaments and to learn, and also to make connections with the players. So yeah, we push all players.
That's great. Well, I think one of the things that is visibility. All these tournaments, are they streamed or are they promoted one way or the other? Where do you promote these tournaments and where are they streamed?
In tournament, we organize the tournament online. In most cases, until now we don't stream the Tribe tournaments, but I think we will plan for it. Yeah, we also make organize a tournament for each university alone, and also every month we organize a big tournament for all universities to compete each other in different games. We don't force a student to play a specific game every month, or organize a tournament for a specific game. No, we have a poll or vote in the community groups. So we tell the student, choose however you play, and we will make a tournament every month. We make from 2 to 3 tournaments with different games. So after 3 or 4 months, we will make for 15 different games. So all students compete and play and participate in all tournaments, and they have a chance to win, because we also not win the first top one only or first 3. No, we try to win around the first 6 places.
Well, that sounds interesting, because if that's the case, that means you've got more path of or more gamers coming through with constant tournaments. They're improving their games, and that means when international tournaments happen, they are able to compete effectively and probably win. And that's why we had Egypt winning most of the tournaments last year across Africa. So that's great. So what would you say to young people like yourselves, or who are coming up, in the universities, who want to work in esports, game development, animation? What sort of advice you give them to become like you?
The advice is start with by volunteering. It is the fastest way to build a real experience and be network and be genuinely hungry to learn. Don't do the bare minimum. Ask questions, understand why behind everything, and proactively look for the problem to solve. That initiative is what gets you noticed and what keeps you growing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%, because you learn by practicing, and the more you practice, the more you improve and get better. That's really great. No, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for making time to speak to us, and wish you all the best in what you do. But we need to stay in touch, because we want to see and hear a lot more from the things you do, so we can promote your work. And as usual, always connect with Esports Africa News.
First, I am happy to be there with you. And second thing, in South Africa, in the Tribe, until now we recruit the new leaders in Egypt. So every student or every player is a student. He have a chance to be a candidate for the Tribe Campus Leader volunteering role. And also, if he's doing well, and so CARIFEST have intern rules taking the leader to be an intern. So it is I think it is amazing thing, and I already make that. I joined a Tribe Campus Leader volunteering rules, and I promoted. Then I take an intern from CARIFEST. When I also volunteering to be with CARIFEST team at Insomnia at 2025. So it is a very, very amazing thing to do for all Egyptian students to be that.
No, that's great. No, I appreciate that. Thank you and take care.